Archers on the line.
I treat archery as something serious. I always want the best equipment to try and do the best at archery. Doesn't always follow that does do that, but it's my way of trying to get there, you know. So I'm always tinkering with bits or buying new bits or changing bits, you know, to try and make it better. I read all the magazines and find all the stuff that's too expensive. A lot of the guys here, they just come and shoot, take their bow home, don't get it out till they come to archery again next week, sort of thing, you know. But I'm often tinkering with mine and adjusting this or checking that or whatever, you know. So it's just a different aspect of doing archery. Sort of came out of the blue of this, and I thought, oh, archery, God, yeah, I've always wanted to do archery sort of thing, you know. Well, I thought all kids do, but perhaps they don't all, but, you know, I certainly did. So I jumped at it and, you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed it ever since. As an 18-year-old, I was an apprentice as a radio and television repair mechanic. I worked about 5 miles away from where I lived, in Midhurst. And on my way to work one morning, August the 27th, 1957, I had a quite serious motorcycle accident. I ran into the side of a horse box, which was round a blind corner. I couldn't see it until I got round the corner and I couldn't stop. I was unconscious for 3 weeks and in hospital for 3 months. Lost the sight of my left eye and no right vision in my right eye, so I've got a wedge of vision like that. I don't remember anything about it at all, which is good. They say that if you're unconscious for a certain period, your memory's lost for that period before you come to that unconscious bit. Whether that's really true or not, I don't know. And when you have a serious sort of head trauma like that, it stops you and takes you back to square one, if you like. When you come out of the coma or whatever, your speech is not the same. Everything's different, you know. So you sort of have to learn to live again and develop the things you need to carry on. About 5 years ago, I read the court report of my accident, and I hadn't read before. And it said in there that I was coping very well with the situation. And I didn't know it said that before. But yeah, I don't get worried about anything. I don't get uptight about anything. I just take everything as it comes. I sort of got to know certain disabled people in the area, and a club was being formed, I'd heard, for disabled people, a sports club. And it was called HADSAD, Havant and District Sports Association for the Disabled. So we went along and got involved. And we actually started the club here in South Downs College. And all the sports were done in the gym that we're in now. And there was table tennis, bowls, archery obviously, all sorts of things. That anybody that came along and said, can we do such and such? They seemed to find somebody that could teach us, you know, which was all right, but most things folded up. People did it for a couple of weeks, so I don't want to do that again, you know. But archery carried on. I had, as you see, I got a depressed fracture there. Well, they had to cut my sort of skull around there to take out the bone and stuff that was damaged. And there's a split in the bone across my eye there. You can feel a hole there, sort of thing. But that's all. I didn't have any damage anywhere else, didn't cut myself, didn't break anything else. I just used my head. Well, if I hadn't, unfortunately, it was a horse box that was drawn by a car, so it was, and there was pieces of angle iron that it was all bolted together with. Well, I picked one of the pieces of angle iron that was sticking out like that I had to hit. If I hadn't, I'd probably just had a serious headache or something, you know. I had a crash helmet on and everything that split that in half. I came along to this initial meeting of HADSAD, and there was a guy called Brian Williams. He taught me to shoot. First thing he said to me is, right, you need to sort of sight the string in the back. I said, well, I've only got one eye. He said, well, that's all you need. You don't need two eyes. I thought, well, it's a bonus. I don't even have to shut one, you know. So that sort of got over that side of it. And the rest of it I've just adapted to, you know, and I've got, as I say, I've got what they call a scope sight on my bow, which is a lens which magnifies it slightly, which seems to work well. Everybody needs a hobby, everybody needs something else to do, to put their interests in. So I just do it as a try and improve my own scores. You know, I shoot against myself. and one of us wins, but I'm not sure which one. A lot of it, I mean, a lot of guys that come in, it's only more of a social situation than a real archery session, you know. I mean, they do it, but they're not that fussed what they score, sort of thing. And we're a very friendly, interesting group, I think. Everybody talks to you, we know each other pretty well, all of us, you know, and no, it's just a friendly, good gathering, you know. Couldn't wish for better, really.